drops again. Lado Lawler. At the 9-minute mark. Whoa. Now here we go out of the ring. As I said last time, it took place not only at the ringside, but way back in the back. But he didn't go over. Tommy Rich once again with the elbow. Jerry Lawler is not finished yet. Not by a long shot. Sends him into the ring post. Rich comes right back. Two men struggling in not a wrestling match, but all-out war in a street fight. Big elbow by Lawler. Signifies to Memphis and his fans that he's ready to try to put Tommy Rich away. And there comes the key. Rich and Lawler battling to determine who goes after the world title. And they're toe-to-toe. Referee Jerry Calhoun checking Tommy Rich as he's cut open above the right eye, I think. Referee calls for the bell. Before, by golly, I'll tell you, Wednesday night, one of the bigger nights of championship wrestling at the Evansville Coliseum. Brother, this is a dandy. The world heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel, will be stepping in the ring with Jerry the King Lawler, battling for the title, and I can tell you, Jerry really feels like this is the time. He is looking forward to taking it away from Bockwinkel and fulfilling a lifelong dream, and he's going to try to do it right there in Evansville with Bockwinkel. Now, that's not all the action. Soul Train Jones will be after the CWA International Heavyweight Championship with Big Bubba. Southern Tag Titles held up, no disqualification, RPMs against Jarrett and Travis. Loser to be a valet for the day with Tracy Smothers against Boy Tony. Tojo Yamamoto and Tarzan Goto against Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka, and Goliath will be opening up against Speedy Tall Trees. All of that on the big championship card coming up Wednesday night at regular prices in Evansville. Okay, we're going to be ready to go in the ring here in just a moment with a rock and roll RPM. The RPM coming out right now, Tommy Lane, Mike Davis, the most recent holders of the AWA Southern Tag Titles, not currently the holders of the titles due to the situation that developed about the titles being held up. What more can I say?
There's one thing I want to ask you and everybody around here. Every time we get those two geeks beat and down, somebody has got to come out and do something about it. They was pinned 1, 2, 3.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Tommy. Don't forget there was another pin. It was a double pin situation, and that's the reason why the belts were held up. It was
the reason why the belts are held up, Lance Russell, is because Grandpa Eddie Marlin wants to walk out and save his little grandson, Jeff Jarrett, and this goof Frank Morrell wants to save his best friend Billy Travis. It's happened time and time again. And we're sick and tired of it. We're sick and tired of it, boys, and it's not going to happen anymore. The belts are held up, it's true. But now, we're going to have you in a no disqualification. Anything goes, Lance Russell. They can't stop it for blood. They can't stop it when we beat them half to death. They can't stop it if we go them off the roof. It's coming down, Judge Travis. Rock and roll is here to stay. And the Southern titles are coming back where they belong.
Well, that's what Mike Davis and Tommy Lane have to say. But don't forget the rules apply on the other side. Anything goes, too.
You know, the best thing about it is nobody's going to be able to save those two geeks. And when we get down, we get to pounding our head. You can't cry for Grandpa. You can't cry for the referee. You can't do nothing. It's going to be us and you're going down.
We're going to find out just how tough you two really are.
Why don't you guys headed to the ring in there? Everybody stand. I'm sick and tired of hearing this stuff about him being protected and all of that. You guys, well, forget it. It'll be settled in the ring, Dave. We're ready for the next match.
Rock and Roll RPM's in the ring right now, and facing them, the team of Robert Bryant and John Paul. Robert Bryant out of Bartlett, Tennessee, and John Paul out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. They come in at a total weight of 463. Believe it or not, they actually have a slight weight advantage on the Rock and Roll RPMs. The RPMs out of Atlanta, Georgia. Referee Jerry Calhoun has called for the bell. Tommy Lane starting against John Paul. John Paul with a reversal. Tommy Lane reverses him right back. There they go, back and forth. Over to the ropes. Who's got the advantage? Well, nobody, because the referee says you're on the ropes, break the hold, and John Paul backed away. John Paul able to maintain the headlock on Tommy Lane of the Rock and Roll RPM. Reversal off the ropes. John Paul puts Tommy Lane on the mat, bars the left arm, shoulders down briefly. Referee started the count. John Paul doesn't have him in a good pin position, but the shoulders were down. The referee said 1. Tommy Lane lifted the shoulder to stop the count. Tag made by John Paul. Robert Bryant. Robert wrapping up that left arm. Oh, there's some hair pulling by Tommy Lane. He's back to the Rock and Roll RPM's corner and makes the tag on Mike Davis. Davis steps in there now. Yeah, look at Bryant. Got that left arm hammered up behind. Mike Davis is back. Davis with a leg drop. Gets him out of there. Goes for the headlock.
There was
Sorry, go ahead.
There was an example right there, Dave, that I think you see with a lot of young wrestlers. He had a good hammerlock on Mike Davis, but he didn't know where to go with it. I mean, a lot of times that indecision, which exists in a young wrestler, they'll make a really good move, but you don't win it with one move. It takes more than one move in order to come up with a winner, and that was the case with Robert. Not to knock him, but I mean, that's just the case with young people.
Very good point. Here's John Paul in here now against Tommy Lane. He goes for the headlock again. He had success with it early in the match. This time, Tommy Lane backs into the ropes, fires him into the ropes across the way, and there was a boot of Mike Davis. He kicked him right in the back. Yeah, he sure did. Referee suspects something, but didn't see what happened. Tommy Lane, meanwhile, going to work with a right fist. Rock and Roll RPM to make the tag. They're double teaming John Paul now. Mike Davis with a snap suplex. He stands up and yells at John Paul, get up. A boot placed by Tommy Lane. Upper arm by Lane. They've really been working over John Paul here the last few seconds. 3 minutes, 15 seconds gone in this one.
Boy, he's got him chin locked, bend and back.
up on his feet. He had bridged his way up. Mike Davis came in and drove him right back to the mat. John Paul trying with a right fist. There's a jab. Point of the fingers to the throat by Tommy Lane. Rock and roll RPM. Double up on him on the exchange. Clothesline by Mike Davis. And a cover on John Paul. Count is 2. But at the 2 count, John Paul able to break it up. Now Tommy Lane back in. Rock and roll RPMs have really tagged in and out of that ring. We've said that 1,000 times over the years, but that's a mark of a good tag team. They can keep that fresh man in there all the time.
And knowing when to do that is exactly what you're saying. And that's another mark of young wrestlers, is that they have a tendency to stay in there too long just to get even with a guy that's got them. And boy, that is nothing but sure slow death.
Boy, we have seen it so many times. John Paul got the tag on his partner, Robert Bryant, in there right now. Coming back with a couple of slams on Tommy Lane, but then he made another mistake. He came in a little too quickly, and Tommy Lane nailed him. Drop him over the knee of Mike Davis. Got the shoulders down. Count is at 3. Got 4 minutes, 53 seconds to time. Give it to the rock and roll RPM. Mike Davis and Tommy Lane as they battered the team of Robert Bryant and John Paul for the victory at 4 minutes, 53 seconds.
Good sizable team of Bryant and Paul with the RPMs, but the RPM showed the polished workings of a team that had been together for quite some time, and they just, in fact, were too much in terms of being able to handle the wrestling. Coming out right now, Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis, and we were just talking with the RPMs a little bit ago. You heard them in the discussion about the fact, and I tried to remind them it can go both ways. Anything goes with a no disqualification.
Right, man. They're out here ranting and raving, saying how big and bad they are, saying how I cried to my grandfather, Billy cries to Frank. We don't care. We don't want them in this match. We got the no disqualification. That's how we want it. Lance, when you walk away from that match, there's going to be winners, and me and Billy are going to be the champions.
Well, it takes a lot of doing when you get in there with a team that's as experienced, but you guys have got the stuff that it's made of to do it.
You know, Lance, there's about 4 years experience between Jeff and I. I've been in about 3 years and him about 9 months. And let me tell you something, RPMs, no matter, this match cannot be stopped. It's a no DQ, no matter. I've been busted open, he's been busted open. When it comes down to it, we're the next champions. Believe me, brother, because we're going to knock your heads off.
Good luck to you guys. It's on the line, and you're not asking any quarter or giving any. That's going to be a dandy when it takes place. Time out and back in a moment.
You felt diarrhea coming.
Standing here with a young lady, this is getting to be a regular thing, and I love it. Emily Arthur. Emily, welcome back.
It's nice to see you.
I know that you've had an exciting couple of situations in the fact that all of a sudden you find yourself in a wrestling ring, a young lady who's a computer operator. Not only that, you end up in a single match with Bruno, and I got to tell you this, while it was not the most polished Olympic wrestling I ever saw, boy, you were not afraid of him. You got in there right with him, Emily.
Not afraid of Bruno. Absolutely not. I don't know where he gets off saying that I work at 7-Eleven from 12 to 6, something like that. I've never worked at 7-Eleven, for all of you that want to know. I am a computer operator. My money's okay. $500 sounds better. We'll go for it.
Hey, $500 is good money to anybody, particularly coming right after Christmas time.
Absolutely. I don't know if anyone in this audience or the viewing crowd that wouldn't be able to use $500.
Listen, though, this is a little bit different than your other appearances, and I applaud you for the audacity to get in there with Bruno the way you have. But in this situation, it requires a pin. Now, what Bruno said, I'll reach him a back pocket, I'll lay $500 out to that broad if she can pin my shoulders within 5 minutes. So that's a little bit different than just kind of beating up on him.
Well, this is true. And if I can get him in the ring by himself without the other two goons, I have no problem. Also, Jerry Bryant, Lou Winston, they've shown me a few wrestling moves that I think that I can implement,
Think you'll be able to get those shoulders down, get the one down?
Absolutely. I mean, $500, that's going to come in handy right now.
Well, I can say one thing. You certainly have had the right attitude about it. And, Emily, good luck. I hope you get the shoulders down. I'd love to see $500 lighter. Emily Arthur, a young lady who is absolutely astounded, I think, Bruno, and that not only has she had the audacity to get in the ring with him, but she has done very, very well. We're ready for big action, and speaking of big, you'll never see a bigger tag team than this.
Talking about Goliath and Big Bubba. They weigh in at a total weight of 821 pounds. Across the way from them, Mike Murphy and Jim Jamison. Mike and Jim both out of Memphis, Tennessee, at a total of 435. Big Bubba out of Miami. Goliath out of downtown Pittsburgh, as is his manager, Downtown Bruno.
Yeah, Downtown Bruno, a few things to say. Look at these pathetic excuses for professional wrestlers in here. These guys are delusions of adequacy, thinking they can stand up to the Downtown Connection, thinking they can stand up to Big Bubba and the Mighty Goliath. Look at that. Just choked him off there, and Rose probably busted his neck. He's probably dead in there. His face is so red, it's like a fire engine, baby. Sucking air like a vacuum cleaner. Goliath taking care of business here, baby. Look at him. He don't even care if he makes a tag to his pathetic excuse for a partner. The guy don't even have enough sense to make it. Goliath had to make the tag for him. Now Big Bubba is going to show this other punk what professional wrestling is all about. You talk about a professional wrestling machine. There it is, Big Bubba. That chop across the throat, baby. This is pain. This is destruction. This is torture. This is agony. And that is what you call a Downtown Connection clothesline, baby. I'm gonna let the microphone go back to you, Lance Russell, because I know you get kind of jealous when I come out here and outshine you. I just might take your job, but I'll let you do all the talking, Jack.
I'm not going to say anything. It's such a pleasant relief.
Yeah, the quiet
Just
sounded
for the
good.
quiet after listening to that bag of wind go. Oh, there's that reverse press. Boy, he slammed him down. I mean hard. 1, 2, 3, and that is it, Dave. No more to it.
A minute 23 seconds going to be the time on it as Goliath and Big Bubba combined for the victory. Actually, it was all Big Bubba.
Yeah, no surprise whatsoever, except that I'm still amazed at the moves that both of these big guys can make. They're not just big. They can both move in there, and they come up with a very easy victory over Murphy and Jamison. We've got more of that six-man match. Will be coming up in just a moment. Well, we've given you the big news. I hope you're able to make it. Wednesday night is where it's at. We're talking about the Coliseum, Evansville, and we're looking forward to seeing the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. There's no two ways about it. Bockwinkel is a proven champion. 4 times he's held that title. Jerry the King Lawler has had shots at him before. He's been close, but no cigar, as they say. Maybe Wednesday night is the golden night in which the King will become the new AWA World Heavyweight Champion. This is just one of a card made up of 6 outstanding bouts, and the thing that I love to be able to tell you, regular prices for the matches coming up Wednesday night when it's headlined by a World Heavyweight Championship bout. Here right now are some words from the champion.
Jerry Lawler, having been the heavyweight champion of the world 4 times, I can understand the fervor in which you feel of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world for the first time. Now, I don't know who and what you've got on the championship committee that you deserve another opportunity. This is a battle we've gone through before. But I will say this, and what I don't like is statistics are on your side. Because each and every time that we've gone in the past that I've been able to hang on to this, the thread has been getting thinner. Now I understand you are almost perverse in your desire to become the champion, that you've even stabbed 2 of your friends in the back. Now Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, to me, are championship contenders, but you have somehow gotten past them. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't like it. But I will still step into the ring, and with the fervor you bring wanting the championship for the 4th time, or for the first time, I, having it for the 4th time, will dig, claw, scratch, and do whatever I must to keep it for the 4th time and keep it out of your hands.
Nobody said it was going to be easy. You show up Wednesday night. Support the King. We'll see you. Well, big six-man match, so I don't want to take too long right here. But I know you got a match coming up with Tracy Smothers, and there's a stipulation here that says that the loser is going to serve as a valet for the winner for 1 day. Is that right? What is this? What is it?
He has to do anything I want him to do.
Whoa, you haven't won the match. The loser has to do for the other one.
We will be the winner.
Oh, mere
formalities. Right, tell him, Bruno. Formalities. Just look at this list, Lance Russell. He's going to have to wash all our dishes in the apartment. He's going to have to do all the laundry. We even going to dress him up real nice, right? He's going to have to come out there and be in our corner, be our valet.
That's right, Rob. He's going to have to dress like a woman if we tell him to. He's going to have to go to Fort Duquesne Boulevard and clean the sidewalks if we tell him to. This will be that way sometimes.
Well, remember just what I said. You haven't won the match yet. There's two sides to it. Let's go to the ring. We got a dandy of a six-man tag coming up here, Dave.
Stepping into the ring right now, Jeff Jarrett with Pat Tanaka and Billy Travis. All three of them standing there waiting for the team of Tarzan Goto, Tojo Yamamoto, and Tony Burton, the ex-ninja. Here they come, led by Goto as he steps into the ring. Six-man tag team match to the expiration of time. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, and all that remains now is to get the warm-up jackets off, figure out one person for each team to start the match, and we'll be underway here.
Hey, I'm for that. We've got the makings of a good one with Sato, Tony Burton, Yamamoto set on this side of the ring. Jeff Jarrett starts it out against Tarzan Goto. I say Sato, I mean Goto.
Without using the rope, Goto grabbed Jeff, threw him down to the mat. Jeff back on his feet quickly. This time Goto steps over. Jeff sets. Tries to get him off his feet. This time he does it. And Goto is saying, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't think he could do that to me.
You mentioned it much earlier in the program today, Dave, making comment, I believe, about Ed Maddox in our first match, about natural athletic ability, and that's what you saw right there. You don't teach somebody those kind of moves.
Jeff moved, and Tarzan Goto just nailed Tojo right in the mouth. That is not a good thing for Tarzan Goto to do. You don't want to get Tojo mad at you if you're across the ring, but if you're on the same side, you don't want to hit him in the mouth for sure. Here comes Tony Burton.
Tanaka. Like this young man from Hawaii, he is a gamer, brother. He will stay right in there with you till the end. Burton is much bigger. You know, this Burton is a big son of a gun, Dave.
He is. He has good height and weight. And he's the biggest man on his side of the ring, both height and weight.
You remember the kind of weight that they list him at?
I believe he comes in, I think it's a 243.
Hey, he passed 243 about 15 pounds ago. I'm going to tell you. He is, I can't get over it. Just today, looking very large.
Tell you what, I'll find out what he's listed at as we watch him here against Billy Travis, and not doing too well. As Travis has the shoulders down, a count of 2.
Those are 3 scrappers you're looking at in Tanaka, Travis, and Jarrett. You talking about being able to go, these son of a guns can go. Jeff Jarrett with Tony Burton, arm bar tag, Pat Tanaka. Tanaka responding to the whip, big chop and puts him down.
I agree with you, he's bigger, but he is listed officially at 243.
Is that right?
Yeah. Probably needs to be revised, don't you think? Need another weigh-in for him with someone beside him giving us the results, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it must be 253 at least. Travis with that arm cranks it up, but he gets the tag on Goto. We're running out of time, and we're going to have to do a little ding-a-ling and coming up right now as Goto is whipped across the ring. Okay, we're going to have to take time out and say that the time is up, as we'll take a break and be back in a moment. Oh, I was a little premature. I misread the clock on that thing. We could have gone for about another minute, but I don't know whether we'd have gotten in.
That was going into a free-for-all anyway. Yeah,
really, it was.
I tell you.
Hey, I'll take that extra 50 seconds to do this, Dave, because so often I get out here and forget to give proper credit to Randy Hales, who does a lot of the commentary on the matches. I just flat forget it, and I want to say that Randy did commentary on all of the any tape matches that we had on today, and things like that. Randy did, and we appreciate his doing that too. Well, we had a goodie today. Boy, Tony started it out for us.
Yeah, he did. He came out here against Ed Maddox. Ed, fine young wrestler, but doesn't have a lot of experience, and in this case, boy, Tony used his experience and also, I think, a little bit the presence of Downtown Bruno in his corner, but primarily just his experience and size as he defeated Ed Maddox. Time on it was a little over 4 minutes. Interesting again that boy Tony came to the ring tossing soap out to the crowd so that everyone
they were
throwing it
singing it right back.
That's right. Then it was Lawler and Soul Train Jones. Soul Train Jones we had met a week before, but had not seen him in action on Championship Wrestling. We just had the chance to talk to him. Well, this week, not the case. We had a chance to see him in there with the King in a tag team match, and well, he looked good in here, I got to tell you. They were going against Rough and Ready, perhaps not the same caliber of competition that they will be looking at in the arenas around the territory, but still, they did win the match in a little over 3 minutes. Lawler and Soul Train both looking very good. Then it was that team out of Atlanta, Georgia. Rock and Roll RPMs. Mike Davis, Tommy Lane. Rugged bunch of individuals in here against Robert Bryant and John Paul. And again, John Paul and Robert Bryant, they're a team that doesn't have all that much experience, but on the other hand, they're not rookies either, especially thinking of John Paul. John Paul with considerable experience, but it was Rock and Roll RPMs. They were not in a good mood when they got here. They didn't get in any better mood during the day today. And just under 5 minutes, they take the measure of Robert Bryant and John Paul. So Mike Davis and Tommy Lane get the win. Then that big super team of Goliath and Big Bubba with Downtown Bruno, over 820 pounds for him. They defeat Mike Murphy and Jim Jamison rather easily, a little over a minute.
It's a mismatch anytime they get in a ring against anybody, unless you just have a couple of super wrestlers going against them. That's all there is to it.
And that's exactly what happened today. It was just all, as a matter of fact, as recalling, I don't think Goliath was officially in the match. I think Big Bubba took the whole thing, 1:23 seconds, and got the victory for his team. Then it was Jeff Jarrett, Pat Tanaka, Billy Travis. We had looked forward to it, going against Tarzan, Goto, Tojo, Yamamoto, and Tony Burton. All kind of action. It all ended up with all of them in there at the end. Time was called, and 3 minutes 30 seconds. That one just turned into a battle. Maybe we'll get to see him again sometime.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. We've got some interesting things brewing around the territory, Dave. We've got the Rock and Roll RPMs and the